I said I don't want to go!
Sir, please be reasonable.
But I don't want to go to something called a princess prom. It sounds totally gay!
Sir, hold still. I'm trying to measure you.
I hate wearing a suit!
You'd never hear Batman complain about the parties he attends.
That's because Batman has to keep up appearances, while I have nothing to hide. And you can't make me go to the princess prom!
Oh, yes, I can. This is the only formal event in the entire series, and I will not have you messing it up for yourself by acting like a little brat.
But these parties are so boring!
You call yourself gentlemen? Time to act like it. Besides, don't you want to see Leslie all dressed up?
Excuse me?
Oh, Leslie will be there in a very distinguished outfit.
She will be?
And nothing makes a woman's engine run in overtime like a man in a tux. Are you picturing it now?
Hello, nurse!
So are you going to sit still long enough for me to dress you now? Good. For this is the Princess Prom.
The episode begins with Adora getting an invite to the Princess Prom. Glimmer and Beta Boy are excited for the event, but Adora still has her doubts. But Glimmer reassures Adora that her and Bo will be there to help her out in any situation, because Bo is being brought as Glimmer's +1. But then Bo confesses that he's going with Perfuma instead.
Ah, good one. Oh, you're serious? Well, damn, I gotta start building another ship right away.
Yeah, but it also says on the invite I can only bring 1 + 1. So what are we gonna do about that?
It's all good, we'll all go.
But what about the +1 rule?
You forget, we're vintage kings. We outrank princesses.
Oh. Meanwhile, Catra is trying to plan out her next move, trying to capture Adora's friends, when Scorpina presents her with the perfect opportunity, the Princess Ball, that she was invited to, because she's a princess, apparently. But she joined the Horde because no one liked her family and she was outcast by the other princesses.
Stop making me feel sympathy for the bad guys!
Well, we later cut to Bo and Glimmer, as Glimmer is clearly upset that Bo is going with Perfuma instead of her. But Bo reassures her that there's nothing to worry about and they can still hang out at the ball together. Just not together. And Glimmer is clearly upset with this.
But no time to worry about that, as Adora drags Glimmer into her room, as she shows she's gone full military general on the whole party ordeal, as she's prepared for pretty much every possible contingency she might run into at the party, as well as familiarizing herself with everybody that's going. But she forgot one important rule. There will be no weapons at the party, which means she can't go as She-Ra, so she has nothing to wear. So Glimmer, as well as everybody else, goes through a pointless get ready for the party sequence.
So do you guys want to have one too?
Well, it would definitely save time.
Okay, let's do this! So we now arrive at the Princess Prom in the Land of Snow, where Adora bombs her first impression of the Snow Queen, as she discovers that she's a 10-year-old little girl.
Princess Frosta gives them the cold shoulder, but it matters little, for we meet the other princesses we've come to know across the series. From Princess Entraptra, Princess Perfuma, and of course, Princess Mermista.
Yarg, I guess they'd let any garbage in here.
Apparently so, because Seahawk is just over there.
And he's just as unfunny as when we first ran into him. So Glimmer shows just how uncomfortable she is with her Beta Boy hanging out with all the other girls. But that matters little to Adora, as Adora's primary objective remains as it's always been: get Princess Frosta on her side.
But Frosta shows very little interest in joining the rebellion, as she believes that the Kingdom of Snow can protect itself and not worry about the hold.
So after failing in her mission a second time to recruit her, Adora goes back to Princess Glimmer as Glimmer reveals her true Tumblr colors, that she doesn't like the fact that Beta Boy Bo is hanging out with other girls and no longer under the direct control of Glimmer's thumb. She's allowing personal feelings to compromise her mission. This is not good military tactics.
Oh, but I think we can solve both problems very quickly. Oh, Rhino Butler.
Oh, I'm already halfway on it. You don't need to be here anymore, and you don't need to be here anymore.
Well, a fire gets lighted in this prism of ice as Adora discovers that Scorpina and Catra have entered the ball. She tries to plead to Princess Frosta that they shouldn't be allowed in because they're members of the Horde. But Frosta lays down the fucking law on Adora and casts her ass right back down to square one.
Okay, I'll admit it. I got massive respect for this princess.
Still remains a true neutral even in the face of adversity. Well, Frosty isn't the only one that deserves respect, as Glimmer confronts Bo and lays all of her feelings out on the table, that she doesn't want things to change between the two of them because there's more friends. But instead of cowering before his female overlord, Bo actually stands his ground and tells her off, saying he's allowed to hang out with other people outside of her. And I gotta say, massive respect.
Huh, so he's not as big of a beta boy as I originally thought.
There's testosterone in that boy yet. Well, Bo tries to run off, but discovers Scorpina is planting heat bombs. He tries to stop her, but is quickly defeated.
Meanwhile, Adora is following Catra and trying to figure out what her game plan is, when the ball's main dance starts, and she gets a very awkward conversation between three different people, where Catra just antagonizes her further and further until she finally snaps and starts a fight.
But Princess Frosty, who has greatly grown increasingly intolerant of Adora's actions, has finally also been pushed to the brink and decides to revoke her invitation and banishes her from the kingdom. But then, shit hits the fan. The enemy is making their move!
Does anybody have any useful items on them?
Okay, I'll grab our shit. You guys get as many people out as possible. Move!
Commando, wait! Damn it!
So Glimmer discovers Bo was being kidnapped by Scorpina's crew. She tries to rescue him, but gets a little nasty sting of herself.
Meanwhile, Princess Frosta uses her ice powers in order to try to stop the destruction of her castle and rebuild.
And while this is happening, Adora pursues Catra to a one-on-one fight to the finish, which ends up with both of them tumbling off a cliff. Adora saves them both, but then Catra forces her to let go, to show that she not only has a way of getting out of it, but she also successfully captured Bo and Glimmer and runs off with them, leaving Adora stranded.
Okay, here's Jen's hammer, my guns, Leslie's bow, and...
Not the gent we are after, but he'll do.
Commando!
Get away from our friend, you son of a bitch!
No!
Looks like our story ends just as this episode did. On a desperate cliffhanger.